But I've noticed you're much slimmer now.
Slim.
You're like extra slim thug.
Yeah, I'm finally fitting my name, finally.
Yeah, because even when he was back then, I was like, his name's Slim Thug, but maybe he used to be slim before he got rich.
And they started indulging.
Before the drink came along, you know what I'm saying? I probably was slim. I was skinny back when I was younger, but, you know, right, as I got older, I started not giving a damn and got fat, you know what I'm saying? Ooh. But now I'm back to being slim.
I'm back.
But was it, did you get was it a health scare?
Nah, I got high blood pressure, but, you know, I just decided to, hey, man, take care of yourself, man, get better.
Yeah. Did you change? It's Zebra in the morning, by the way. We got Rosenberg and Laura Styles and the Houston hip hop legend Slim Thug is on the program.
Yeah,
Yay.
Appreciate y'all having me,
Thug.
man.
Man, our pleasure.
Yeah.
You came on the scene like as far as where I could tell.
Yeah.
At a time when just Houston was scorching. I mean, it was
right. That was about 04, 05.
Yeah.
When everybody, you know, we took it worldwide. But I've been in the game since '98. But previous to that, if you didn't listen to chopped and screwed music, everything I put out was basically chopped and screwed, so you wouldn't have heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how did that work though? When you put out everything chopped and screwed,
it was on screw tapes.
Bro,
yeah.
So you were rhyming on records, and everything you put out was chopped and screwed?
Everything for the most part. Like we may have did a few features, maybe like 4 or 5 songs, real songs before that. You know what I'm saying?
But anytime anyone would have heard your voice, it wouldn't have sounded not quite like your voice.
It wouldn't have sounded. It would have been way deeper than the sound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you talk about that moment when the collective of Houston that was, you know, with the screw tapes and it was 3,000 watts and just the whole
5,000 watts
or 5,000 watts, excuse me. And was that a collective? Like you guys came together and was like, "Yo, we gonna make this movement," or did it just get so popular because of the tapes that it just naturally happened?
Well, first, you know, I always got to give credit where it's due, and that's DJ Screw. He originated that.
Yes.
You know, he originated that whole sound to the point where if it wasn't chopped and screwed, people in Texas didn't even want to hear your music. Wow. You know, like whatever was hot, the DMXs at the time or whoever was dropping
had
Jay-Z,
to screw it. Had to
was
chopped and
screw.
Yeah.
We wanted the chopped and screw version. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted that. So, you know, by him making that sound and that style popular, you know, we was on the other side of town, though. You know, it wasn't no north side rappers. It was just south side rappers for the most part. And they had the whole Texas on lock, you know. So we began to get jealous, kind of, because they was kind of like, you know, they was like shooting slugs at us, like, you know, F the North. They over there robbing they jackals or whatever, because it was some guys on the North who used to be robbing their cars or whatever. And, you know, they used to be saying that type of stuff. So we, you know, well, me personally, I was inspired. Hey, man, I need to represent for my side of town. I'm tired of people playing these songs on the north side when they talking about us. So, you know, as a young 17-year-old in high school, man, I met with Watts at one of these little local parties. We did a freestyle at the party, and the crowd was like, you know, turning up. And, you know, it was me, this dude named Lil Mario, and J-Dog. And we went over there to his house together, and we did a freestyle. It was off of a mixtape called Swisher 98 back in '98. And ever since then, you know, it was just a need for that. You know, it was a need for that in the city, somebody to represent the north side. When we dropped that, it just took off like fire, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I never stopped. Once I seen I can make some legal paper, you know what I'm saying? Because it was more about the hustle, like, and on our side of it, on Swisher House side of it, it was more about you can sell CDs, you got different stores you bring them to, you know, bring him back $5 off $10, bring him back $8 off for 15. You know,
so it was just like slanging, but it was legal.
Like, it was slanging, but it was legal. That's it, exactly. So we took it to the next level. Me and my brother, we took it all across the state of Texas. We went to each city, got the yellow pages, went to every CD store we could find, put the CDs in there, told them call us if they ran out, you know, and then it was kind of, the blueprint was laid, man, and we was making bankrolls. I was in high school, you know, with a bankroll, you know, 80,000 in the stash, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, it got crazy, you know. It got to the point where we was like, hey, man, you know, we ain't tripping on being famous. You know, this check, we getting it.
Yeah. And then the bigger checks came with the major record deals.
Like I said, I started in '98. Those checks came in like 2004. That's when it really, you know, took off.
And so, I mean, even to this day, I mean, I know Chameleonaire's done very well. Paul
Right.
Wall's done very well for themselves outside of music.
Right.
You yourself, I've heard of your investments and your business
Right.
endeavors outside of music. Talk about that transition.
I mean, it's still, for the most part, man, music probably gives me more money than anything still to this day. You know, that's a lot of stuff we do that y'all probably don't know. Like the people you naming, well, not so much Chameleon now, he ain't put out nothing lately. But Paul Wall got a hot song on the radio, Swinging in the Rain right now in Houston. It's still get money. We still got stuff on the radio, you know. So it's like we do a lot of shows still, you know, get good money off of that and put out a lot of independent projects. So, you know, we still get a lot off that. But at the same time, I do have side hustles. We got Boss Life Construction. We build homes in the hood, you know, affordable homes in the hood. We got Boss Life Clothing where we got these in Foot Action down there. So, you know, we grinding.
Man, every time I talk to artists from other markets, like it could be Houston or Atlanta or everywhere, I just feel like the Bay particular, they all have this scene in which the cats of I don't want to be disrespectful, but the cats somewhat of yesteryear, whose glory years may have been the OGs of 10 years ago,
Right.
still have hits on the radio.
Right.
And like we don't really do that. Like with the exception of a random All the Way Up, which goes beyond regional, that just happens to be a national
Fab
smash.
still has his regional hits. You have a Fab that
I guess you're right. I guess
hit.
at this point you could put Fab in that kind of category, but like,
Yeah.
you know, like Mobb Deep doesn't have records that come out and start
Right.
popping again, and
Right.
MOP and people like that. Like I feel like in markets like Houston, y'all get extra life off your music, even if the national scene isn't checking for it.
Right.
The DJs there still supporting. You can still make money locally doing
Right.
well off your music.
Because actually, that's who we are as artists. You know, we independent artists. We came in the game independent, and that's how we started. And you know, that's how we always we felt like that's home for us. You know, like during the major little boom of Houston, that was different. That was out of our, you know, that was something out of
Unexpected,
normal.
yeah.
Well, that was like cashing in, right? Y'all got a
that
chance
was
to cash in.
That was cashing in, and also, and when we went back independent, we was still who we was, and we also was able to benefit off of the fame we got from being on that, you know, boom or whatever. We was able to go still get checks in the Tennessees and other spots in the South and, you know, around the country. But for the most part, we stayed independent all the way through, you know, all of us.
I'm just curious. Can you talk about how did you and Pharrell first meet?
Oh, me and Pharrell. He came to Houston. I forgot for what. It was on. I met him on a tour bus. He was like, "Hey man, I'm in Houston. Come out, meet me or whatever." I had already had the deal going with Interscope Geffen or whatever. And then, you know, Jimmy Iovine, his formula is to put you with a major producer or whatever, you know. So he was like, "Hey man, I want to work with you. What you think about it?" You know what I'm saying? He came. I went, met him on a tour bus. He played a couple beats. I was like, "Yeah, you know, I like that. You know, I like the idea of working with Pharrell." You know what I'm saying? So that's how we ended up meeting, basically through that.
And is that how we get to the Hove record?
Nah, that came later. We was actually deep in the record, deep in already platinum. You know, when we met on that tour bus, I said, "Yeah, I'm down to work with you. Let's do that." You know, I believe we can come up with something good. So we went to LA, worked for about 2 weeks maybe, and then, you know, through that, he was just playing different records that he had, and he played the I Ain't Heard of That, which was really Change Clothes remix. You know what I'm saying?
That's why it starts out change clothes.
That was the Change Clothes remix, and he was
What?
like, "Hove ain't used it." I was like, "Man, you gotta give it to me." You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just did my verses to it, and then he was like, "You know, we gonna hit up Hove and see what's up with it or whatever." But the album ended up leaking. That's how it ended up getting out.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I seen Hove later, and he hollered at me about that was my song.
But he gave you an original verse for it.
Right.
Because
it was his verse, actually. You know, it was done. That was done already.
But he says I ain't heard of that on the verse.
Right, yeah. That's because the Change Clothes remix had that. He did the chorus on it and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, that was on there already. But Pharrell did the chorus. He said he wrote the chorus or whatever, and, you know, that's how it happened.
That's dope, man.
You got some new music.
Yes, sir, man.
What's it called? What we doing?
The new album is a part of a 4-part series. I tried to, I just came up one day with an idea, man, let me drop 4 albums, 1 album each quarter, you know, let me just feed my fans this year. And, you know, I could kind of do what I want to do because I'm independent. So, you know, I began to work on that last year. I dropped 3. And through my distribution empire, they was like, "Hey, man, you doing too much. We ain't got enough setup time, you know what I'm saying, to do this. You losing because, you know, you could get more out for these albums. You know, they ain't getting the proper attention. So they say, chill on the last one, take a little time. And this is the last part of the series, American King, basically what I wanted to do with that was, I've been in the game since '98, and the questions y'all asking, like from what I was doing since '98, I put DVDs with each album to kind of break down,
got
what
it.
I'm saying, the whole thing from beginning. Like we got footage of me from the Swisher Highs days to before having the deal, driving Bentleys and everything y'all hear me talk about, it's visuals with it. And for the younger for the younger fans, they can kind of see, how I really came in the game. And this is the last part of it, and that's why I feel like I'm at with it. American King, because that's just where my mind frame at, man. I want to be American King. I'm not saying I'm the king of America, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I'm a king in America, and trying to inspire these youngsters to think like that, you know what I'm saying, for the most part.
But you're also taking it to another level financially speaking. Talk about what's happening with the black banks and what you guys are doing to invest in banks that have, specifically black banks, but banks in general that have interest in reinvesting in our communities.
Right. It's just, through what's going on in the world, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the Killer Mikes out here, putting that out. And I had to give credit to this dude named Derek Muhammad. He set up a meeting with the rappers of Houston with the mayor, you know what I'm saying? So we went sat down with the mayor, even though Houston, like I tell people, it isn't a lot of police, killing people, black people in Houston. But we want to be proactive and try to, stop that before it even start. So we was just coming up with different ideas of different things we can do that we thought could help, you know what I'm saying? And one of my things, I was like, man, maybe if you send more cops from the community back to their community where they're familiar, it wouldn't be such a uneasy, you know what I'm saying, relationship.
It wouldn't be so much tension.
It wouldn't be so much tension. You send somebody who never been to the hood and they see a dude tatted up in the face, they might be scared and automatically, reach for that weapon. But if you know him, I know your auntie. I know he look crazy, but he ain't really, he harmless. So, that was one of our ideas. We was thinking like something else. That was on police brutality, but for the most part, like I say, it ain't in Houston. So we can't really say nothing about the other towns. And to the mayor, we were just trying to fix Houston at the time. And we also talked about black-on-black crime, because that's something that we dealing with, a lot of black-on-black, killings or whatever. And we was like, why is this happening, for the most part? And our thoughts was that people feel hopeless for the most part. People feel like they want to be successful, they want to shine, but they don't feel like they had an opportunity, so they go pull guns and,
take
rob
it from the
and
next
try to
man.
take it from the next man.
Yeah.
So how can we help that, And we was thinking like, man, maybe if we did, put trade schools in the hoods, where they can, instead of having to go to college, some people might not want to go to college or had the smarts to go to college. Let's put them in a trade school where they can have something good. One of my ideas was maybe we can come up with some type of course on teaching them how to be an entrepreneur, a boss, and then at the end, if they, make it through it, maybe we can give them some type of grant or something, to
Small
start their own
business
business,
loans,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So, just different stuff like that is what we started with. But like I say, Derek Muhammad put the meeting together. And also he asked that, hey, man, we out here doing some major things together, sitting with the mayor. How about we go to the, black bank and also go over there and bring our money over there and support that? So with that idea, we just rolled with that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna take credit for that. So we went over there and that's what we did, man. At the same time, like I said, I'm building houses, affordable homes in the community. I'm telling Unity Bank, hey, since we over here putting our money in your banks, how about y'all make it easy on these black people trying to get loans for homes, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make it all work, work together. That's pretty much it.
And I guess the next step, your company, your construction company, other construction companies who have those interests could also get those loans from those banks. Everybody work hand in hand to make sure people can actually buy a house.
Exactly.
And then also teach people how to manage their money, get the job so they can pay their loans off, keep their credit scores right, and we can invest and become in.
Because in school, they teach you about everything but taxes, real stuff you got to really actually deal with, you know what I'm saying? Like, we talked about that, too, like having some type of course where you learn about these different things, you know what I'm saying?
That is very interesting,
and credit,
though. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, then no one's prepared.
At a public school level, to survive in America, you have to have good credit. You got to pay your taxes, right? If you don't do those things, you have real problems. And that seems like something you would learn or start learning about.
But I'm still learning taxes.
Yeah,
like
me
really how to
too.
do it right, and like not. Even if you're, it's not even a really a low income versus
No,
no
it's
one really
nobody,
knows it.
but that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And then when it comes to credit, most college students get caught up in credit card debt really early. Because if you're come from a
Hell,
home
not
where
only credit card, but your damn the loan to even go to the fucking
Exactly.
school.
yes, but even regular, like the responsibility of dealing with credit and how to actually use it, and because if you don't learn that from your parents, that they definitely don't teach you that in school.
That all that stuff is amazing. And on a much less important and fun and frivolous entertainment note, we asked you about Sean Carter. How long have you had a relationship with young Beyonce Knowles?
I didn't actually know Beyonce. Of course, wouldn't have let Jay-Z steal her if I would have met her before she
So you didn't know her before working with her, before
I
Check Up
definitely
On
didn't
It.
know her before. I mean, I seen her before, during Destiny Child, but and before Check Up On It, but not before she was like Diamond or something.
Right.
Did you work with them? Did you work in studio on Check Up On It, or you just send a verse?
Nah, I just sent the verse. He wasn't having that right.
You ain't about to come over here all night and write a verse with my
You
wife.
could just FedEx it. It'll be
It was
fine.
really dope, you guys. In the last Beyonce album, I brought it up before, but in the last Beyonce album, she has a song called "No Angel," where they shoot and they have incredible visuals of Houston, and they're in, and they bring out all the
Right.
cars, and they show all people's jewelry and just visuals of the hood. It's shot really dope.
Yeah, it was dope. She wasn't there either, though.
Oh, she wasn't? I thought she was there.
Let's just be clear.
They shoot to them. She's in the house with her
Lot
fur
of
coat
updates.
and bathing suit. I'm like, that's tight.
A lot of
Super dope.
updates, new album, American King. Okay, there's a DVD, there's 4 CDs.
One of the
Right.
biggest names in hip hop in Houston.
No, listen, he's doing amazing things. He's building homes.
Yes.
And also, if you're keeping track, Beyonce will still not get near this man.
Nah, on the cool, Jay-Z super cool, man. Every time he come to Houston, they invite me out, man. They give me Ace, man. He real cool. I just, I be joking with that. But Beyonce also, man, they just show a lot of love. Since day one, they've been showing love, man.
Slim
Slim
Thug.
Thug.
Appreciate y'all, man.
More slim now, too. Less Thug,
Very-
more slim.
Slim.